I want to tell you about a realization that I had this week, and that is I am no longer searching for job titles. In other words, senior account executive, director of whatever. I don't care about titles anymore. And I want to talk to you about how I came to that realization. Those of you who are new here, my name is Annette. I'm almost 64 years old and talking about all things midlife and growing older. And today I want to tell you about a realization I had as I'm looking for a new job. For those of you who have been following me, I am out of work and collecting unemployment, and part of that is searching for a new job. And as I've been looking for a new job, I'm realizing I don't want to go back into what I was doing, and I don't want to have a title anymore. I don't want to be the person that runs the show. I want to be a very productive member of the team. And this has changed everything about how I've been job searching. I think what I realized is that growing up and just being in the workforce in general, we're all sort of chasing certain levels and titles and pay grades. And that used to be really important to me. But now, as I'm older, I realize I don't care about that as much. And I don't care what other people think about the job that I'm doing or the title that I have. And that in and of itself, I think, comes with age, but it's incredibly freeing to say, I don't have to do this anymore. I can approach this job search and my new life in a completely different way. And that's really how I've been analyzing the jobs that I'm looking at right now. I am not at this stage of my life looking to create a whole new career and devote the next 20 years of my life to climbing a different corporate ladder. I'm not looking to do that. What I really want is something that resonates with me and gives me peace. So, in other words, I want to be able to leave everything at the door when I walk out of my office. I don't want to think about it anymore. I've spent years and years and years of just stressing about things, all connected to my job. And I realize I just want peace right now in my life. I just want peace. And I'm seeing these amazing stories of people saying, you know what, I took a job as a security guard at the Met. And I think, like, that is so amazing, because he was saying, I was surrounded by beautiful things and I saw people happily, looking at gorgeous pieces of art. And I thought that sounds so fun and so fulfilling. And I'm leaning more towards something that has meaning and brings me joy. I think this speaks to where I'm at in my life, and I think where a lot of us are at, where the killer instinct that I used to have to cobble my way up the corporate ladder has softened. And that's no longer interesting to me anymore. Like, I am going to work, I have to work, but I don't need that to be my identity. And I'm wondering if those of you that are watching this, if you understand what I'm saying and if you're feeling the same thing. I think as we get older, we're looking for a life that has more meaning, more purpose, but also I'm looking for a gentler and a slower life at the same time. So while I will continue to work, I want to enjoy what I'm doing, and I'm leaning a lot more into the creative endeavors. And I'm seeing a lot of people my age doing similar things. So this was just some thoughts that I had this week. I'm wondering if this resonates with you. If it does, I would love for you to leave a comment. I want to keep this conversation going. And thanks again for joining. Hope to see you next week.